Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Herrera. I'm a production intern at HOMTV, and joining me today is Rachel Bernowski, the Director of Community Engagement for Susan G Komen. How are you today?
Good, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now, I know that this month, October, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and for those who don't know exactly what that is, could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so Breast Cancer Awareness Month is all about, raising awareness and bringing more education to the community to combat this awful disease because more than 42,000 people in the US are dying every year from this disease and also from metastatic breast cancer. Those deaths are caused. So it's extremely important that we take our activation this month and, get your mammogram, receive education and get familiar with Know Your Normal, because the earlier it is detected, the easier it is to treat and the better your life expectancy is.
And now, how is Susan G. Komen? How does your organization help the community with that and those who
Yeah.
experience this?
Yep. So Susan G. Komen, Michigan covers 24 counties.
Mm.
And through those 24 counties, we are able to provide our treatment assistance program, which is through our 1877 Go Komen number, which is our hotline number, that's open for anyone to call that needs help with navigation, screening, diagnostics. There is also psychologists and therapists on there as well. So if you're just feeling mentally drained by the whole process, and not knowing what to do, or even being a co-survivor, you can access that hotline number, put on our community efforts. Also to the community through our grant and our past grantees, and that's also displayed on our website that people can go to. In each of their counties, you can look to see what resources are available and what's closest to you. So there's a lot of ways that we're able to support our community.
And how has your organization adjusted to COVID-19 and like the resources that you all offer?
So it's definitely thrown us for a loop because, everything's virtual. We want to protect our community since we deal with a lot of immunocompromised individuals. And the way we've done that is we've gone virtual with all of our events. So it was nice because, there's pros and cons to, of course, COVID. There's not a lot of pros, but in October, we've never had our More Than Pink Walk. It's usually in April in the East Lansing area in the mid Michigan. But this year we were able to relocate it virtually and have it in October. So it was nice because even though, COVID shut us down, we were able to refocus and have like a kickoff to October with our More Than Pink Walk. So that was one way we adjusted. Another way is, everything is more accessible in a way. We've transferred a lot of our documents, like the Know Your Normal card, on our online website through resources. So it's more accessible to receive for anyone. They can go online, download it, print it off, post it on their wall, to get familiar with Knowing Your Normal. So in a way, it's kind of shown us more accessibility. We do miss seeing all the faces. Treatment outlook has changed as well. And that's primarily discussed with the individual's doctor, but, that's caused a lot of barriers as well. But with the treatment assistance program that we've entered in, a lot of those barriers can be broken down with women that are eligible, such as transportation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of some individuals can live alone and need help with transportation. And then if that person that drives them to the appointment, is fallen ill with COVID or is, not able to attend or they're social distancing, we're able to provide another resource to help them get more transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And speaking of resources now, family members of those who are patients for breast cancer, do you have any resources for them, like to cope with what's happening and within their family?
Yeah, so on our hotline, we do have family-based therapists and psychologists there to help you and patient navigators. But we also have co-survivor resources on our website as well. There's, I believe, a forum put on by our big headquarters. So it's a huge database of a whole bunch of co-survivors. And I keep throwing out that term And what defines a co-survivor is anyone that is helping them through the disease. And when I say through the disease, you know, the disease starts at the time of diagnosis. And when you're in remission, it doesn't stop until there, because there are a lot of side effects and a new way of life. So that still affects the co-survivor as well. So throughout the rest of their life, they have constant change with the way treatment. So we have that co-survivor forum. We do have resources on our website for local support as well. And, you know, we urge the community that if there is something that we're not providing you and you would like to see a change, to call our office or email us, and we would love to update or fix or provide anything new.
Thank you. And moving along with that, so I saw that the organization has the COVID-19 Action Fund. Can you emphasize on that, what it pertains to?
Yeah, so the Komen Action Fund, we started that right away because through the treatment process and the diagnosis, you know, because this virus hit everyone that was immunocompromised, that fund is there to help those that might have, you know, lost their job. So they lost insurance, and then they have breast cancer and they got hit with COVID. So in ways such as that, it helps. And, you know, the donations are more important in this time than ever before. It is a separate fund from, you know, our typical donations. So this action fund is put together with our headquarters, and the money is used to help those affected by COVID.
Okay. And where could we apply for this if we?
Yeah, so you can go right to our website. All the information is right there on our COVID-19 Action Fund. And then I'm sure there are more resources, or if not, a little bit more information on our headquarters website. But KomenMichigan.org is the place to go.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now, how can the community get involved? Maybe by educating ourselves and ways to educate ourselves, or just to help donate. How could we do that?
So there are so many ways, and those ways, you know, it's definitely harder with COVID because we're not doing what the normal volunteer outlook looks like with coming to the events, raising money at the event. So ways you can get involved is, one, you know, you can always go on our website and make a donation. You can get involved by being a local active advocate in your community. I received an email notification from a woman who's in Mackinac City. So she's not technically in our service area, but when someone reaches out and they tell us their story, and she just lost her mother to breast cancer, and it's so heavily prevalent in their family. She lost her grandma and then her great grandma as well to breast cancer. And so she said that she's taking that emotional breakdown and putting it forward and activating it, and she's asked for resources. So I've given her like materials, and she's going to go out into her community and you know, start advocating. Another way is you can always do a fundraiser. A lot of people do Facebook fundraisers. One woman just contacted me and is asking to do a fundraiser about, you know, she creates local vases with pottery, and they're actually in the shape of breasts. And they were also doing a metastatic vase, you know, or oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the term. A mastectomy vase, that's what I meant. So one will have a breast and then the other side won't. So we're doing that, and it's really cool to see the creativity come through. Another woman contacted me and asked how she can do a virtual walkathon just in her neighborhood. So they're going to be all socially distanced and creating their walkathon and raising money and getting out there. And that excited me a lot, because adding even 5 hours of physical activity into your week may reduce your risk of getting breast cancer. So it's just really fun to see the creativity and the fundraising. We're also collecting survivor stories, co-survivor stories. Anyone that's affected by breast cancer and would like to share their story, we're looking for those stories, so then we can activate more engagement, and also have those moments to connect with others that may feel like they're not connected. If you understand, like, so I had one woman she called me at the end of September and, was talking to me about being involved on one of our committees. And I had to unfortunately tell her that we're just virtual this year. So in-person meetings aren't taking place. And she said, I don't really feel like I'm connected to breast cancer, but I really want to do my part. And I asked her why she thought that. And it's because she said her neighbor had breast cancer. And it's not like it was her grandma or her sister. And I was like, don't minimize how you were affected by that individual. You did support her in ways, and that is your story, and that's how you're connected. So those stories, fundraising, advocating, getting those materials, self-activation and self-advocacy with taking it in. And I am doing virtual lunch and learns as well for organizations that would like to contact me and ask for a Breast 101. It's like a short 20 to 30 minute presentation I give. And that's a way you can activate as well.
Okay, thank you. Now, you've been mentioning that a mammogram is a way that we could check. What other ways can we do this in order to, do a self-check at home?
So the self-check, we have strayed away from the self-check as the shower. And a lot of women are familiar with that, and that's great, but it's not always identified as a lump. So knowing you're normal is what we really advocate for, and we have a pamphlet on our website about it. And that's about knowing the risk and signs, and there's many different. So you could have dimpling or puckering in your breast, painful feeling in your breast that doesn't go away, enlargement of the breast, which, everyone doesn't have like the perfect identical anatomy. So when I'm talking about like a significant enlargement of one, that is a sign. An itchy, scaly rash, those are all signs to check for it, which are on our website. Doing your monthly, when you go to the doctor and you get your annual physical, asking for your breast self-exam. And I prefer like the professionals to do it because they especially know what they're looking for. So making sure you get that at your annual physical, knowing you're normal. When you're 40 and older, of course, getting a mammogram. So, those are the main ways.
Thank you. Thank you for providing that. So now, is there any other events that Susan G Komen is still hosting towards the end of this month? Now that we're like wrapping October, is there anything else going on that we can get involved in as a community?
So we've strayed away from, in-person events. So we have a lot of virtual. We do have an event coming up with a brand called Kendra Scott, and they are actually doing a 20% give back with us and auctioning off. So it's just mainly local events that are going on with participation. If you are interested in donating and getting involved those ways. We do have, that's pretty much it. Yeah. It's hard because, COVID has presented a lot of challenges. So, a lot of the local fundraisers are such as like, there's a grocery store in the Kalamazoo area that is doing ribbon give backs. We did do our walk on October 11th. So towards the end of the month, we're just seeing a lot of those local community events, but nothing of our larger size.
Thank you. Now, is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap things up?
I think that's it. I know I did a lot of educating and I threw a lot of information out there, but just making sure you're normal. The way you can get involved with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's not always buying. It's great to donate as well, but it's also fantastic to donate your time. And that is shared in a way for me as one of my ways. I work for Komen full time. And so my life is a lot about breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. So different ways that I can give back more than I do is I like to share a meal. So even cooking a meal for someone that is going through breast cancer and bringing it to them, that's my way of sharing outreach and awareness. And empathy and also, you know, just showing care for a loved one or for a neighbor. So I think that's a fantastic way to also spread awareness.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, for those interested in learning more, what is your website or where are ways that we could reach out to?
Yep. So Komen.org, KomenMichigan.org is our website. My email is on there. You can always reach me at rbernoski@KomenMichigan.org. You can always call our number, our local number. I think those are the best ways to get in touch with me off the top of my head. Of course, we're always answering Facebook messages, you know, so those are the best ways.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.